Yo guys, and welcome to the new patch of Age of Empires 4. Today is November the 29th, and at around 10 PM Amsterdam time, we had the new patch drop for Age of Empires 4, and I'm excited to jump into it and show you all the different changes that have affected the game. A few quick ones. The Hulk for the French have their ranged armor reduced from 8 to 2 to kind of reduce their naval supremacy in feudal age. This means they'll be much more easy to take down with land units, including archers, crossbows, outposts, and any ships that come out of feudal age from the other factions. Mangonels have been buffed. It's now much easier to click on relics. As you can see, there's a large hitbox around the relics. The minimap has received some changes. The T-wall stone exploit has been bugged, where you were able to print stone by deleting T-shaped sections that no longer gives you bonus stone. And while not all bugs are fixed, hundreds of changes have positively affected the game, and I'm looking forward to jumping into the changes with you by taking a look at the patch notes. If you're ready for it, let's jump into it. Alright, Age of Empires 4 update 8324, as we kind of paused the game here. 8324. Starting today, you'll be able to install update 8324 and enjoy the latest features, balance updates, and fixes of Age of Empires 4 and fixes Age of Empires 4 has to offer. If you've seen the Age of Empires 4 community roadmap, then you might be surprised to hear that Winter 2021 was coming early this year for both the northern and the southern hemispheres. What can we say? We were really excited to get the Winter 2021 update into your hands. With this update, we're bringing a few key features, feature additions, and changes based on your early feedback, along with bug fixes and exploits referenced on various Age channels. The update also introduces a substantial number of balance updates. Many of these, more than 100, are in response to callouts you've made, and will promote challenging and exciting opportunities regardless of which civilization you're playing as or against. Read on for a detailed view of the changes you'll be able to try out starting today. You can also navigate to specific sections using the menu on the right. So we're going to have features, balance, bug fixes, and some known issues. Before you update, please note that upon updating to build version 8324, you will no longer be able to utilize replays or saves from previous builds, but campaign progression will not be affected. Luckily, we just watched our replays. We look forward to continue hearing your feedback. You can post in our H4 forums with your thoughts at any time. Download on the Microsoft Store as follows. You can pause the video if you want to see this, and download on Steam. You can pause the video if you want to see this. Still having trouble? Visit our support site. Update 8324. Before we dive into the good stuff, there were a few terminology questions that we wanted to address. What's the difference between a patch and an update? We're defining an update as anything with a larger number of changes, including multiple new features and updates that take place across the various areas of Age of Empires 4. Updates will be guided by player feedback and are oftentimes in the works for longer periods of time. Patches are important too. If an update is something laden with bigger features, but updates and fixes, a patch allows us additional flexibility to introduce more focused changes. So patches are smaller. What do the numbers in the patch mean? They signify a build version number. Okay. You can see the patch here in the top right. We'll be adapting our naming conventions for updates in the future. You've already seen us reference them in broader terms. But for now, we're also making sure to pair them with the build version number. We'd like to give a huge thanks to your feedback. Thank you, thank you. New. Based on community feedback, we've made the decision to implement the ability to enable in-game scores for those that want to see it. We know that using this feature can change the way you choose to play the game, and so we want to empower you to make the choice for yourself. Starting today, you'll be able to enable display starting scores when you start a game on a match-to-match basis, but only for custom lobby multiplayer and skirmish matches. That means it will not affect you in a ladder game, a quick match, when you use the matchmaker to find an opponent for you just when you're playing against someone in a custom game. And I'm just testing that out right now in the game. I opened with score, and we can see indeed that there is a score right here. I'm playing as the Chinese here, and I am against a Mongol player. It looks like Mongol's score is still a little inflated. I don't know if that's in line with the pre-patch as well, and whether scores are expected to be linear and starting at the same amount. I assume not. So yeah, see, there we go. It's well, I guess he's building stuff already, that's why. But yeah, it starts a little bit off. But it's good to know that this function is working. It's very cool. Back to the patch notes. The ability to view the map post-match is also something you've asked for, and we've begun to make changes to allow you to do just that. With this latest update, you'll be able to pan across the map and get a better view of all players' strategies after finishing up your game. Please note that after pressing the continue button, you will be taken to the post-game statistics screen, and you will no longer be able to switch back to the map. We will be providing options in the future, as early as spring 2022, to switch back and forth between the two. Interesting, so that means if I surrender here, I should be able to see the whole map. Maybe after the defeat screen is gone? It's only for team games? Huh. Maybe it's only for team games or for multiplayer. Okay. Oh, maybe later. Update it. We've heard feedback that the minimap can be difficult to follow at a glance. We've made several adjustments to ensure better readability. Icon sizes have been notably reduced, and I noticed that. I think we saw that just now in the start of the game when I showed the French gameplay. New Wonder icon matches the HUD objectives icon. Primary town center is now noticeably larger than landmarks. Deer icon appears smaller and will not be obscuring other resource points, even when camera and map are rotated. Small gold deposit icons match the large gold deposit icons, the triple gold stacks, but can now be told apart from one another on the minimap, and we saw that's by size. Relic icons are now gold in color. Fish icons are now slightly blue in color, and I think before they were gray. Maps such as Ancient Spires, Danube River Confluence, and Mongolian Heights have no fish icons present on the minimap, with fish present in river. Isn't it? Oh, fish icons no longer appear in shallow streams, but remain in deep water. So, no more fish icons for the border of a river. I feel like that was a good thing, though. Maps with larger bodies of water still retain fish icon in deep water areas. I don't feel like this is a good change. It showed you on the minimap where you could find shallow water fish, and now you can't, just because they felt like it was cluttered. Don't think that's a good change, but we'll see how it is when we do our gameplay. I get that it's cluttered, but it's like really important, useful information. We've moved the Chinese. You don't want to just pan your main camera past the river just to find the fish, and then constantly not know at a glance at the minimap where they are. No, I think I was playing water maps before. This makes me less want to play water maps, to be honest, because it hurts visibility. We've moved the Chinese Dynasty button and user interface to a less prominent position on the screen. Oh, interesting. Didn't I just open as Chinese? Yeah, I did. Let's test those things. I'll be booting up a game in the background. You'll now find it in the lower left-hand corner, nearer to the location where you make other selections. Garrison behavior has seen adjustments to better put you in charge of the decision making. Okay guys, I've booted up a game and we can see that change now. You can see here right at the left, Tang. You can still click it by accident, but it is not right under the timer anymore. I think that's a really big improvement. Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming. It's nicely positioned. I would still say that you should hold Alt or Control when you click it, and that just the left click wouldn't trigger opening the menu, just to take away the chance of accidental misclicks. I mean, this is not something that you always need to see. As you get better at the game, you'll need to open this menu less and less often. Yeah, and that means that you'll never want to be able to click it even. It's only for people that are still in their first few hundred games that you may sometimes need to check this, and eventually you won't need it. So having like an extra requirement to click it, control left click, I think would be a nice way. Or it could be right click, though right click can also be misclicked. But I am glad that it's here instead of here in the middle of the screen, so that's a good change. Few million games for you. Okay. Garrison behavior has seen adjustments, puts you better in charge of the decision making, while also ensuring your economy stays as efficient as possible. You can turn off one-click garrison. Oh, this has been very requested by players in the pro circles that I have been a part of the discussion of. Your villagers will no longer automatically load into a hold when you right-click them. So this is an adjustment to smart click. Smart targeting is the game's best attempt of understanding what you want to do. When you click a villager on the town center, the game could understand that you want to repair the town center, or you want to garrison inside of it, or you want to move towards it, or you want to drop off resources in it. That's 4 different things that could happen based on a right click. And normally we don't think about this except when it does something that we don't want it to do. That's where smart targeting becomes dumb targeting. Now, you can still use the hotkey to garrison, F, left click, go inside, but right click will no longer, if you choose to toggle, make your villagers go inside. And I think that's really hot. That's cool. So I right click, he goes inside, right? But if I turn it off, how do I do that? Does it explain how? As well, when you ungarrison, villagers still respond to rally points and immediately get back to work. Options menu. Options, settings. Should be game. Disable one-click garrison. Yep, I'm gonna use that. Oh, nice. Yep, I pretty much never want to right-click. And while the patch notes only talk... Oh, this is such a good change. Dude, they're killing it. They're killing it, guys. Do you know how often we had 16 Royal Cavalry inside our town center? They're mentioning only villagers in the patch notes, but it also affects scouts, as you can see, in military. Does it also mean that sheep go to the center when you right-click? No. Damn it! We can't have all the good things, but maybe eventually. Maybe eventually. What do you think? You think eventually we'll get it? I think so. It's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be good. But it works on many things. Can you try with towers? I'm sure it works the same with towers. They talked about garrisoning in general, right? So that should be good. Note that I've got the game sounds off, not because it's bugged, just for the patch notes. Okay, that's really, really nice. This is a plus change. We've also introduced new options to the campaign mode that will allow you to easily jump back into the game and test a new strategy. From the mission fail screen, what's that? Never seen that. You will now be able to select load saved game rather than pathing back to the main menu to select a save game file. I see. Some selection improvements have been made in this build. With this update, you should find trees, animal corpses, sheep, partially depleted deep fish swarms, and relics easier to select. Yo! Yes, we already noticed that with relics. We would welcome your ongoing feedback surrounding these improvements and general selection. The population panel has been updated to display depleted and remaining population space. Okay, population panel to display depleted and remaining pop space rather than unit count. Okay. I guess I can actually turn on game sound, just have the music off. Because I got my own music running on the background. So it says that the population panel has been updated to display depleted and remaining population space rather than unit count. It might be a score screen kind of thing, right? Yeah, deer stop cancel doesn't work anymore. That's true. Controversial issue, I think. Yeah, it requires 14 gigabytes on your disk to download the patch, but it will take up much less than that. Yeah, maybe it's for casting. Maybe it's for casting. Balance. As we mentioned above, we're excited to introduce a hefty number of balance updates today. Age of Empires 4 balance lead Erik Vrobel describes the intention behind these changes as follows. In Age of Empires 4, our goal is to provide high impact unit counters and ensure that most powerful and successful armies include a diverse mix of units. This encourages players to constantly scout one another's towns to get updated information on the kinds of units their opponents are creating and unleash devastating counters. Our balance updates center around ensuring that the core unit roster, as well as unique units and technologies, are working properly to fit this vision. The development team is also keeping a close eye on the ever-evolving meta, and we are aware of a certain specific siege unit outperforming its counterparts. The team is looking to make sure it's reminded of its role. I see a few too many apostrophes. As the anti-siege specialist, and will be working with the workshop to deploy it in the future. I think most people were pretty confident that Springles were a little bit too dominant. My suggestion for Springles is 40 plus 40 damage against siege. I think that's enough. Right now it's 60 damage plus 20 against siege. And its role supposedly is to kill siege. 40 plus 40 or even 20 plus 60. Then you'll see, or even 20 plus 80. I think 40 plus 40 or 20 plus 80 or 20 plus 70. 20 plus 70, 20 plus 80 makes it better against siege. 40 plus 40 keeps it the same but makes it worse against units. I think both are fine. And I think 60 plus 20 against siege is just making it too much of an all-rounder. It's beating every archer, it's beating crossbows, it's beating horsemen and lancers if it has a bit of a backline, a bit of a front line. Yeah, but we got 60-20. Anyway, let's go on. All civilizations. Spearman, all ranks, bonus damage versus cavalry class increased from 3 times to 3.5. So instead of 9 plus 18... it's gonna be 9 plus 30. Wait, it's 9 plus 18, yeah. And so instead it's gonna be 9 plus 22.5. Is that so? Crossbowman damage versus heavy class increased from 6 to 9. They could have just said the number here, but okay. Elite crossbowman bonus damage versus heavy class increased from 8 to 11. Ah, that's really impactful. You know, men-at-arms are going to be really like lancers and men-at-arms, and elephants are going to be much more countered by crossbows. Damn. Damn, like now if you see someone Pepega Lancer spam or Men-at-Arms spam, because before I was not sure if Men-at-Arms are super countered by crossbows, and they kind of are, but not like super hard, they can still get the jump. Now that's like super true. Horsemen of all ranks, yes! Yes, 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 yes. Yes, this is, that's my suggestion too. 1 ranged armor. That's perfect. That's perfect. They will take more damage from spears, but that's fine. You could never remotely beat spears with horsemen. Wait till we reach the next line. Pepilaf. Uh-oh. What? But guys, this is early horsemen. I don't know why you guys are Pepilafing. Why are you Pepilafing? This is only Mongols. This is a Mongol nerf. Oh, one more. Okay. Keep reading. Horseman health reduced. Why? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. But why though? Ah, Jesus Christ. So let's do some quick maths. 155. Let's say you're taking archer damage, 5 damage, right? 155 divided by 5. You needed 31 archer shots. 125 divided by 4, still 32 archer shots actually. So they can actually take one more archer shot, a horseman, when nobody has any upgrades. And armor scales well. Every extra shot is better. Like he lacks critical info. I suppose so. I suppose. Keep going until you hit the Springel's nerf. I don't think there is one. Okay, let's just keep going. Veteran horseman health reduced from 190 to 155, and elite horseman. Were horseman OP? He thinks it's over. Hand cannon damage reduced. Okay, hand cannon at least are nerfed as well, right? Battering ram movement speed reduced from 35 to 3. Wow, rams slower, so you can hunt them down with horsemen and spears and villagers better. Ram health reduced. Yeah, I expected 600. They said they're going to nerf the health to make villagers able to kill them better. Yeah, spearmen are going to destroy horsemen by comparison. Like, they're making that counter a lot harder. This is a harder counter. This is now a harder counter. And horsemen in general are like much worse. Like, for instance, horsemen was actually becoming an okay counter to cavalry for Delhi or Abbasid into French royal cavalry. And now you can't really horseman into royal cavalry anymore if there are no other changes. You would need to fully rely on spears. And this is only 4 to 5 extra damage, right? Half of 9, 4 to 5 extra damage. I don't know if it's enough. But horsemen are quite nerfed. Let's see how it works out before we overreact. Battering ram population is now 1. Battering ram ranged armor is 15 instead of 30. That means springelds hurt them more, 15 damage more from a springled. It's let's see, crossbows. Well, all kinds, like archers still don't do anything. Town center still doesn't do anything. Wait. Oh, sorry. Increased, yeah. Increased, okay. So they take less damage from springelds. That's really nice. Less damage from hand cannons and cannon emplacements and bombards and stuff. But it's unaffected against archers and town center and even crossbows. No changes there. So it just makes them a little bit better in the late game against some range. But overall, I would say they're worse. They're a little bit nerfed. They're worse. The only advantage is they only cost 1 food, so it's easier to squeeze a few in the late game. Let's see how it works out. Mangonel reload faster, quite a bit faster. Interesting. The area of effect shape has been changed from 180 to 360 degrees. The weapon area of effect shape. Okay, so was it doing this? Like some kind of semicircle attack. Okay. Interesting. Now it's a big blob. How does that interact with fire arrows? Fire ignores armor. Fire is not considered as ranged attack. At least it ignores ranged armor for sure. Rebaldequin fire armor increased from 0 to 10. Oh wow, this is huge. Rebaldequin, I think, is it the French and the English that can make it? And it's like a relatively short range splash siege weapon. But because it's so short range, people were able to destroy Rebaldequins with the usual suspects, scouts, horsemen, infantry, right? Like spears and men-at-arms. And now they are actually a specialist at resisting those attacks while being a specialist at killing those. Very interesting. The ranged armor reduced from 2 to 0. Okay, so Rebaldequin is going to be, for 2 factions that have it, a specialist at killing horsemen, scouts, men-at-arms, and spears. But they're going to be weaker against archers, crossbows. Still good, I think, but weaker. It's interesting. Naval. Fishing boat woodcast. Ah, this is really good. Because fish boom has been so important that you literally have no choice on a water map but to play docks. And I think we should get to a point for at least some of the water maps, if not all, well, not Archipelago and Warring Islands, where fish are an option and where you've got a valid counterplay to it. I think we're going to see a lot less triple dock play. Maybe we'll see less double dock play. And hopefully we'll see zero dock play sometimes, even on Nagari or on Ancient Spires. Arrow ships bonus damage versus incendiary class increased from 0 to 2. So they're looking to have hulks and galley ass be countered by demo ships, and then for arrow ships to be countered by hulks and galley ass, but then for the arrow ships to be good counters to demo ships. So now you'd use a few cheap arrow ships to kill the demo ships before they get to you. Outpost arrow slit emplacements now also increases garrison arrow weapon range from 6 to 8. This is pretty huge. This will make defense and even tower rush with it quite effective. This is mostly a buff to Chinese and Mongols, who are most likely to tower rush anybody. Mongols because the outpost is cheap, and Chinese because they build it fast. That's pretty big. 8 range is the same as a town center. You still need a stone emplacement. You still need the arrow slit emplacement on feudal. It's not Dark Age relevant. Elite army tactics, health and damage bonus. Wow! This is the university tech for 300/700 gold, 1,000 resources, that gives 10% health and damage bonus to all your infantry, all your melee infantry, men-at-arms and spears. And that's going to be increased from 10 to 20. So that makes it better. That makes spears better in the late game. Spears are already good to protect siege bombers from scout rush. And men-at-arms are, of course, a key unit for a number of factions, including Holy Roman Empire. So it's nice. Because men-at-arms are generally underperforming because they are not supply efficient compared to cavalry. When you're looking to fill 200 supply, 200 army, then you want the most expensive units that have the most supply efficiency. It doesn't matter how expensive they are. You just want to fill with strength. And this makes men-at-arms a bit better in a 200-foot army. All Unisys elite rank technology research time has been reduced from 90 to 60. Wow. You get a much quicker payoff now from reaching Imperial. Civilization specific. Phalanx technology moved from House of Wisdom to the barracks. Ah, this is 100% bonus range for spears. Composite bow technology moved from the House of Wisdom to the archery range. This is good. Like, it's so much easier to upgrade these things from one of your many production buildings rather than tying up your House of Wisdom, which is now not able to advance to the next age, the next diplomatic wing, trade wing, military wing, economy wing. Good. Here it comes, Peppy laugh. Almost there. What's going on, guys? Camel handling technology moved from the House of Wisdom to the blacksmith. This is good. Keep reading, don't tell him. Oh my god. What's going on? No. Chinese. Officials tax collection ability cooldown reduced from 30 to 15 seconds. Ah, nice. That's a big buff, because you could never collect all the taxes. Tsuganu. Food cost reduced from 60 to 20. Health reduced from 90 to 70. Veteran Tsuganu health reduced from 110 to 80, and elite from 130 to 95. Damn. Training time is now the same as an archer, 15. Which means you can produce them in 5 seconds. We're next, guys. Grubby wasted the past 2 weeks. Pepe laugh. Oh, they're gonna nerf Delhi. Nest of Bees movement speed increased from 2.5 to 375. Oh my god. What? They're gonna be super fast. Weapon minimum range increased from 2.5 to 3. Health reduced. Nest of Bees training time reduced from 45 to 40, which means it's 13 seconds after IO supervises it. The damage is now 10 damage. 8 volleys of 10 damage instead of 8 volleys of 8 damage. They don't say it's bugged, by the way, guys, so it's just the spread pattern of the damage that makes it worse than Mangonel. So with this and this, they're saying we want you to move it, reposition, and fight more. We want you to have more of it, and it does more damage. But these two are like, watch out for getting in range, though. Pyrotechnics technology moved from Siege Workshop to the University. Okay. So it doesn't tie up your clock tower. Interesting. Alright, Delhi. Delhi, here he comes, Pepilov. But I've really been enjoying the Sanctity playstyle, and I hope that they don't fix it, you know what I mean? I hope they don't change anything about Sanctity, because it's fun to go for the early sight. Sanctity technology age requirement. Oh no! What have I been doing with my life? Ah, that's so sad. Scholar research system has been adjusted to correlate with the Civ's viable opportunities to produce scholars. Early technology research times have been reduced, later ones increased. So you can do better rams, you can do better hardened spearman upgrades and so on, but then university will take longer. Okay. Dark Age technology research time multiplier reduced from 5 times to 3 times. Elite upgrade still takes 5 minutes with 10 scholars. No. No. There's no way. So they're like, what's the problem? By that time in the game, you've got 30 scholars, no? You've got like you've had plenty of time to make scholars. So what, it costs gold? So what, you can't use your scholars for healing and picking up relics and controlling sacred sites? Have all of those 5 mosques pumping away scholars on the double, and maybe you'll complete one of your imperial techs. Delete it. Delhi new Ramrush civilization. They got deleted. Nice one, chat. Nice one. English. Longbowman's setup camp ability will now activate if... This is too much. This is too much. Don't forget you can put up to 20 scholars in the university madrasa. Really? I didn't know that. I'm not playing this shit faction again. Longbowman, setup camp... Oh, they're keeping English as the golden standard for balance. Longbowman setup camp ability will now deactivate if the Longbowman enter combat. Well, that's good. That's just like Morrowind and Oblivion. Can't rest while in combat. No campfire. French. Reduced Hulk. Yeah. This makes sense. Every game designer and balancer needs to have 1 or 2 factions, civs, as the golden standard of balance, where you don't nerf them, you don't buff them, except like the most egregious mistakes, and you have all the other civs matched to their power level. Apparently, Imperial research time multiplier to 15 times that of the French is Delhi's golden standard matching. I guess it's true. Emergency repair influence ability cooldown increased from 4. What? That's it? Oh well. So, are we at 100 plus yet, or are we still getting good things too? So Delhi and Holy Roman got nerfed. And here I was playing the underdog factions in order to be ready for the new patch and to become top 1 in the new patch. And I wasted my time. But maybe bug fixes will help. I did say a few days ago, bravely, that in order to truly know a faction's strength, we would need to have their bugs fixed so that we know before we go out of control and like over nerf and overbalance things. The bug fixes will probably help a lot. So don't panic. Don't panic. Landmarks are now able to pack and unpack while at maximum population. Nice. Raid bounty, food and gold plunder costs reduced from 100 to 50. Food and gold plunder reduced from 100 to 50. I thought it was 50. Does it mean 25-25 split? Perhaps. Yeah, I think that's... I don't know, that's probably what it is. 25-25, yeah. The total. Improved raid bounty reduced from 125 to 75. And here it's not split. Right? Khan's attack speed arrow ability no longer affects siege. Good, good, yeah. Oh, raid bounty is the tech. Right. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll need to test that. This is good. Are Mongols heavily nerfed though? I wouldn't say so. Mongols probably the best. And I don't see a lot of nerfs here. Rus, Boyar's Fortitude technology moved from the stables to the blacksmith. Yep. Okay. Larger attack ships that activate a roll switch will now incur a 50% movement speed during it until the switch is complete. Nice. This is good. That reminds me of some 4X games where you do unit upgrades like Planetfall, where the unit is weaker during the transition. Lodja fishing boat roll. Switch woodcast increased by 25 per roll. Okay, good. That's good. Map updates. On larger map sizes, player spawn locations have been moved closer to the center to account for the longer unit travel times. Sacred site spawns have been updated. Ancient Spires now spawns 2 instead of 3 along the central east-west axis. The sites are set to spawn 1 half map width apart along the central line. Good. So they can be like this. Archipelago. We've seen cases of players spawning on islands without some starting resources. Mongol island players, we hear you. Oh yeah, no Uvu. We've determined this to be linked to players spawning too close to coastlines, which severely limits our distribution system's ability to find a spot for the set of standard resource deposits. We have now added a step to our spawn algorithm that recalculates island real estate after each player is placed to find the central island point and place the player there. This helps to ensure that the most space we can give is available for the distribution system, and it solves the problem of some players having their capital TC placed in a vulnerable position. As an added measure, we have bumped up the spawn priority on starting stone deposits that help ensure that all resource types are available as expected. I do want to say one thing about Delhi, guys. While it was a fun playstyle, the Sanctity Rush in Dark Ages, I feel like it was the only playstyle for Delhi. And you could say that in a game with 8 civilizations, it's allowed to have factions be unique. After all, Rus always pursued a deer and Delhi always pursued a site. But I'm not sure that they still have a playstyle without this. Their Imperial is no longer really strong because it takes so long to get the research. Like you will go Imperial and you'll spend 5+ minutes without any benefit in Imperial, which is not good. Like the only thing that Delhi gets from Imperial now is bombards. So they have no... There are 8 Sifs, I only know 7 Pepilav. Well played. I think that ends my soapbox. Yeah, 7 civilizations. That's true. Okay, let's move on. As an added measure, we've bumped up the spawn priority on starting stone deposits. Yeah. To help ensure that all resource types are available as expected. Okay. Black Forest. We balanced the number of fish in starting lakes to be identical across the map. Each lake should have 5 shorefish and 3 deep water fish. Good. Yeah, there's no real reason for that to be randomized when it's so personal. This lake is mine, this lake is yours. We added a large number of single trees in each player's starting area to both provide close short-term wood for gathering and to make the map feel more foresty. We adjusted trade post spawn locations for multi-team games. Previously, the map would try to find a location on the map that was far away from average team locations. However, this could result in a trade post spawning behind some teams in certain configurations. The Black Forest trade post will now always spawn roughly in the center of the map, giving all teams roughly equal access. We also removed the sacred sites and placed them with large gold deposits. We removed the sacred sites and replaced them with large gold deposits. We found through playtesting that the map plays more to the gameplay intention of Black Forest without the sacred site victory condition. Wow, that's... So, when they speak about the intention of the Black Forest, is there something I'm missing as a Age of Empires 4 new player? Because I have never played Black Forest before I started Age a month ago. Is this like an Age of Empires 2 thing? Like, is that the Lost Temple of Age of Empires? 8th civilization when? It's supposed to be a turtle map, a bunker map, famous map for AoE4 as well. Okay. Okay. They didn't say this is only for team games. It looks like this is in general. I'll actually launch a game in the background to see if there's a sacred site in a one-on-one setup. As we check out the rest of the stuff. Black Forest. Okay, we'll see. The gold income that was provided by the sites was bolstered by the additional large deposits that replaced them. Note, enabling only sacred victory on this map will now behave as if all victory conditions are turned off, and the match will end with annihilation. We're working on ways to make this more obvious in the match setup screen, but we felt that the gameplay impact was substantial enough to get this in as early as we could. Please give us feedback on the change. Yep. Okay, I just started a one-on-one with Sacred Site on, and it is true that indeed in one-on-one there is no more Sacred Site. I'll miss it. I liked having it. My feedback is I preferred not. Because now it's gonna be like both will turtle and then build a wonder, right? Because there's nothing to contest except resources. Probably. Boulder Bay. Starting resources have been adjusted to be less than full naval maps, but still higher than standard land maps to further push its identity as a hybrid map. Spawn placements have been turned to place players further away from the coastlines to cut down on imbalanced naval danger. Confluence spawn positions in larger multi-team games have been improved so as to not spawn members of opposite teams in the middle of the same quadrant. We improved the reliability of crossing spawning. I don't know what that is. Danube River. We felt that the version of the map that shipped resulted in a high number of imbalanced spawns, where players and teams could hold spawn on a smaller chunk of map or have difficult access. We've done an overhaul to have a much more consistent and balanced generation parameter. Okay, I'm gonna test that on the background as well. Danube River. They're talking about team games all the time. I don't care as much about it. But we can already see that if you look at the thumbnail for the map, instead of having a this shape, like on the map, 2 rivers in a T-split, it now has some kind of U shape with mountains as well. So like it's definitely very different. And I'm gonna start a map here with the map state completely revealed. And then we can see what it looks like now. Cerimon D said, I just checked, you can still research Sanctity in Dark Age. Okay, well that's good, right? Then it just means quicker feudal, and you can still get feudal by like 5-6 minutes, right? Oh, okay, look at this. Interesting spawn location. This could be a multiplayer game. I'm wedged in the corner behind water with one bridge. It's very Boulder Bay-esque like now. There's 3 entrance points to the water. I'm spawning in a corner, and he's spawning in a corner that is completely open on this side. I do think this is better though. Like, no matter where you spawn, this is more balanced than it was before. Like, both can like expand across the land. Mongol in 2 directions, me in just one. But I can also go over the water and expand here. It's interesting, I like it. Have fun zooming into river and finding fish? Yeah, this is absolutely garbage change. Not showing, sure. Like, I think I'm actually gonna alter for all the river maps. There's no way to find where the fish are. And they're actually extremely unnoticeable by themselves. Like, there are a few things that are less visible than fish. Like, if I'm panning across here, it's like a little bit of birds over a shoal of fish. The birds do help. I will say that the birds help. That's a really neat change. It does help. But I want to look on the minimap to know where they are. Where's the holy site placement? And they said they made the minimap more readable. But actually, I find that the opposite is true. The sacred sites have become tiny. Well, I'll need some more experience with it. It's easy to see. Well, it's easy to see, but you can't see it on the minimap. They removed all the shorefish. The sacred site, and especially the small gold, do you see this? And the sacred site became really, really tiny. I feel like it was better before. Maybe I should have got that 32-inch monitor after all. I just bought a new 27-inch monitor with 165 hertz refresh rate. I should have got the 32-inch because I'm gonna need my glasses for some of these, and I don't even wear glasses. So my feedback on that is it's all a little bit too small. And the sacred site location, one is next to the Mongol, and where's the other? In the middle. And not balanced, but okay, that's part of the maps. Yeah, you can start Sanctity in Dark Age, someone said. You just can't use it yet. I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, Danube River. The map image layout in the lobby has also been updated. A U-shaped river. French Boss. We reduced the erosion multiplier to eliminate instances of impasse trenches running through the Central Valley, which could reduce build space and cause unnecessary map clutter. Okay. The erosion multiplier. That's like impasse trenches. Okay. I guess it's like where the mountain has little offshoots of rocks that prevent building. No, you can't. Game wasn't patched. My bad. Okay, so you literally can't start Sanctity in the Dark Ages. You can only start it in the feudal. Noted. And that means feudal is 3.5 times. So let's say you hit feudal with 1 scholar. Then it's going to take you 3.5 minutes. So let's say you start feudal by 240 and then you reach feudal by 440 with several villagers. Then it takes you 3.5 minutes to get this upgrade. And then at 8 minutes you can start Sacred Site Control. Some people can almost be castle by that time. So basically Delhi law, like Sanctity, is not good anymore. It's 4 minutes 25 seconds with base with 1 scholar. Really? 425. Oh, so it's like, it's not a 1 minute upgrade, it's 1 minute 30 upgrade. That's why the 3.5 brings it to... It's pretty bad. That means you can start at like 8-9 minutes. Maybe you can like make extra scholar, but it only... Scholar takes 45 seconds to come out. So we're talking about 8-second 8 minutes sacred site captures. That's not very good. So I think the strategy is dead. Hill and Dale. Trade posts now spawn along the map edge exactly opposed to one another. So if one spawns along the northeast, the next is southwest. Central large deposits has been slightly reduced. I see. King of the Hill. We've added 3 individual trees that were missing. Oh, thank God. This map was ridiculous. There were no close trees. You do get forestry out quicker. Yeah. That's Delhi. Lipany. Larger map sizes. Player spawn locations have been moved closer to the center. Mongolian Heights. A rare issue where players spawning with the random positions option could be spawned too close to the river, potentially stomping out trade posts and sacred site spawn locations. We increased the number of and improved distribution of river fish. We adjusted spawns of groups of contested sheep to spread them out and place them closer to the center of the map. Mountain Pass. We adjusted the spawning of the mountain opening, making it slightly larger and more consistent. This should eliminate instances of the opening being too small for siege, having the opening blocked by trees, or in rare cases not being open at all and leaving the map half covered in impasse. It seems we were at an impasse. There are some walls that cannot have a gate. Nagari. We increased the overall amount of fish on the map to reduce cases of unbalanced fish distribution. We adjusted tree and lake spawning to make sure central lake shores are no longer clogged up. Yeah, I had that yesterday. I got dock blocked. On one side, it was all trees and you couldn't reach the center lake. Why do you only get 1 or 2% more wood if you've got forestry? What's the logic? Well, that's because it makes you chop down a tree quicker, but not gather the wood from the chop down quicker. In addition to updating balance for specific units, we know it's just as important that unit building tech and tooltips behave as you would expect. Bug fix. Okay. Now, to manage expectations, I don't think they're going to fix everything. Stability fixes introduced for specific crash types. Yeah, chopping down a tree doesn't give wood. You need 4 chops to down a tree and then you start gathering. Stability fixes introduced for specific crash types. You can no longer cancel unbuilt stone wall intersections. They were really fast with this. This got found out on Saturday. The weekend, guys. Thanksgiving weekend. And it's fixed today. That's impressive. This was the most broken exploit. Wasn't the only one, but it was the worst and the most recent. Yeah, I already covered that, Peplov. Oh, it was found out in beta, it was on forums. Okay, fair enough. I didn't know that. If that's true, I don't know if that's true. It only became like really public a few days ago. So no longer possible. For additional rocks, yeah, stone. Yeah, Delhi should not be played, let alone on Black Forest. Mongol packed landmarks that were destroyed in transit can now be unpacked and repaired. Ah, I see. Rus civilization can no longer produce infinite relics. Nice. Good. Some fixes have been made to the hardest AI, such as response to scout attacks. Tweaks made to building placements to allow for construction closer to impossible areas of hills, mountains and map borders. Ah, yeah, you couldn't build on the border. Wonder if you can just go like 1 or 2 hexes closer now. Let's see. Ah, nice. That's huge. Yeah, you couldn't build here before. Now you can. So you can even fit a house here. What about walls? Did they change how close walls are allowed to be to... Okay, that's still like that. But, I mean, that's fine. Naval and siege units better mind the stop command. Greatly improved long pauses encountered when auto-saving in campaign. Fixes have been made to a number of landmarks which did not require wood to repair. Wow. Spearmen will now brace while it... Oh, wow. Spearmen now brace while attack moving against charging cavalry. That's... I think that's a good thing. That's a big part of making spears better against horses and cavalry. That's the real spearman buff. I mean, it's one thing to educate the community, as I have been doing and many have been doing, that there's a brace mechanic where you need to hit stop or hold your ground, especially stop. And then they're gonna do the brace, but this is still better. Yeah, knights auto charge, spearmen should auto brace. Yeah, I think it's true. Warship production button has been moved so that it does not cover the ungarrisoned button in the dock. Oh. I see. Tower War Elephant has been renamed to Tower Elephant. Well, that's good, because it was confusing. You had the War Elephant, you had the Tower War Elephant. Now you've got the Tower Elephant and the War Elephant. But none will be made. Siege Engineering Field Unit construction icons now have the correct background color. Okay. Dock technologies have been rearranged to match the age in which they're available to research. Dock technology buttons have been rearranged to be consistent across civilizations. Warships will now correctly fire with all cannons while attack moving or acquiring targets while idle. Warship cannons will now correctly damage ships when shooting directly at their front. Oh. Ah, this was a bug. We just watched a video of this, and directional 100% armor block was apparently a bug. Yeah, we just watched a video on this from Waddling Duck. Directional armor. Doesn't mean there's no more directional armor, guys. There was also an 80% damage block in some directions. Crossbowmen no longer gain +1 range after... Oh, wow. Didn't know that was a thing. After gaining incendiary arrows technology. Stone walls now have the correct health value when being placed. Land traders are now correctly treated as cavalry. Ah! Mongol nerf. Mongol nerf, guys. Spears will now do bonus damage on traders. Yeah, because it took ages to kill them with spears. Landmarks which act as town centers now have the textiles technology available. The market trade exploit has been fixed by preventing multi-selected markets from issuing multiple buy-sell commands in a single click. The market trade exploit. Oh! Okay, so I think what is happening, when you get the best rate of 100 gold for a 70 resource, and you spend a single market for a single ticket, keeping in mind that the market rate is affected by everything you do, your next purchase will only get you 68 food, your next purchase will only get you 66, 64, and so on and so forth. I think what they're saying is when you have 5 marketplaces and you sell gold to buy food, you're no longer spending 500 gold to get 5 times 70 food, but you will spend 5 times the gold, and then you get 70, 68, 66, 64, and 62 respectively. I think that's what they mean. Berry bushes should no longer be stomped out by buildings. I guess that is testable. Maybe it only... Yeah, it either does that, what I just said, or... Oh, they just made all the berries big? No. Oh, yeah, look. They centered all the small berry bushes. Before, berry bushes were like sometimes on the edge of 2 hexes. They would be on this hex, but they would be sticking out here, which means if you made a mill here, it would delete the berry. Yeah. I can confirm, at least on this spawn, that it is true. So that's a Delhi buff, Copium, Hopium. Delhi buff. Yep. Big Delhi and Abbasid buff. Huge. That's good. That's good. We have replaced stone bridges with fords on river maps while we investigate an issue where AI would not properly pathfind across bridges. Various tooltip changes have been made to better match in-game behavior. Okay, cool. Civilization specific. Abbasid. Camel barding now correctly provides armor to camels. Nice. We have removed the scout from displaying under the Abbasid Siege workshop in the tech tree. Oh. I see. There was a scout apparently in the Abbasid Siege workshop tech tree. Imams with the faith technology can no longer convert enemy religious units. This was so bad already. But, okay. Trade ships now correctly generate bonus resources. Tier 3 Golden Age now correctly reduces production time of all units and not just the first tier of each unit type. Oh, it did work on the first tier. I knew it was bugged. I didn't know it worked on the first tier of each unit type. What is the first tier of each unit type? Does that mean like unhardened spearman, or is it like the spearman? Worked on spearman, not the men-at-arms. Worked on archer, not the crossbow. Elite army tactics and bootcamp upgrades will now correctly stack with each other. Good. Regular spearman. It works on archers, not veteran archers. I see, I see. House of Wisdom Technologies now display the unique indicator. Okay, I don't know. Oh, okay. The little triangle sign that says this is a civilization specific upgrade. Yeah. Camel unit base armor has been properly applied. The icon background color of the Abbasid military wing has been updated. Armored caravans no longer provides siege armor and correctly provides ranged armor instead. Bootcamp upgrade no longer increases the attack speed of archers. Apparently it did that. Improved processing no longer provides a 100% bonus to stone collection. Holy crap! Have I been missing out on abusing this? What is improved processing? Can I go back in time and abuse that for a bit? Oh, no, it's okay. Where's improved processing? It's this, right? Yeah, this one didn't work properly, apparently. People said. I didn't test it myself. But apparently it doubled your stone collection. I had no idea. I had no idea. Oh well. So long, we hardly knew her. I think they've made some oopsies with Delhi changes. Hone the Blades, which is a castle upgrade, now takes 20 minutes with a single scholar. Really? So get to castle in 10 minutes, and by 30 minutes with a single scholar, you can have +3 damage on your men-at-arms. Pep laugh. Reload drills technology now correctly modifies the... yeah, that seems like an oopsie. Maybe they can hotfix it? I don't know. Reload drills technology now correctly modifies the attack speed of bombers. I don't know what it did before. Was it better or worse? Officials can now supervise keeps, universities, and blacksmiths. Oh, wow. I thought that was the intention. That... Oh my god, that's a big Chinese buff. Holy crap. So before, I thought they were quite particular about the fact that you could only use it on buildings that are able to produce units. And now it works on buildings that cannot produce units. Delhi is clearly intended to have 10+ scholars. Yeah, probably. And, you know, maybe that actually is terrible. Because what does Delhi get? Like, really, when you get down to it, when you look at the whole thing, when you look at everything, what does Delhi actually get? You get free upgrades in the early ages, but in return, you have to spend 1,000 gold on scholars just to almost catch up, and not even catch up. You need 1,000 gold in scholars, and you need to be spending gold at a steady rate to pump out scholars, not just from your landmark, but from everything. You know what? At least make scholars 50 gold from the landmark, and make them produce in 20 seconds instead of 45. Battle-hardened technology has been moved to correctly align with the men-at-arms icon. Good. Yeah, that was weird. Towers with the extra materials technology will no longer repair enemy walls. I mean, it did say all stone walls next to towers, so be careful what you wish for, right? Right. I mean, Grubby, please test Abbasid new tech. You can duplicate them. I don't know what that means. Just tell us what you found, man. And be specific. I can't test because I'm reading, you see. Pyrotechnics technology moved from the siege workshop to the university. The cost of scholars balance out the free tech. Yeah. So then why do you have all the scholars? Plus, before you were able to sometimes play without, like, take your scholars out of the house because you'd done upgrading for a bit and then use them for healing. Now all the scholars are stuck inside forever. You can queue techs in multiple blacksmiths and stack the upgrades on camels. What? Well, that's worth typing in caps and getting my attention, so thank you for that. Let's check that out. Tuganu now has its wood cost reduced when trained from a building with the aura of the Spirit Way. Oh yeah, this wasn't working, that's good. Incoming camel jihad. Wow. Battle hardened technology moved from the spearman column to men-at-arms. Reload drills technology moved to the bombard column in the siege workshop. Okay, let's try that out.
جاهز للعمل. أجل. مرحبا.
Yeah, I mean, I'll show you guys soon. The buildings are building. Reload drills technology, okay. Delhi Sultanate. Here's where they're gonna save the faction, guys. They realized that they made some unfavorable changes, and the bug fixes are gonna help out here. They're gonna change the Hisar. They're gonna change the Hisar thing. And it's going to be great. You're actually going to get food from your H4 landmark. The Delhi Sultanate tech tree will now correctly display the base research time of every technology. Keep emplacements are no longer affected by the scholar research system. Honed blades technology now provides the advertised benefit. Wait, we were getting +4 instead of +3, so they nerfed Delhi men-at-arms. Tower elephants no longer... Wait, really? We had forced march on tower elephants? I never abused it. Tower elephant now gains the armor visual upgrade when researching siege elephant tech instead of armored beasts. Note, tower elephant doesn't get increased armor from siege elephant tech. This is to help visually distinguish the upgrade. Okay. Still not a faction. Okay. So... Oh wait, we need to be Imperial. Okay, hold on guys, I need to go Imperial, okay? We'll be there soon. English. Palings and camps can no longer be activated on top of stone walls. Keep production icons for spearmen and men-at-arms have been swapped. The range of the French Royal Rebeldequin has been reduced to match the standard version of the unit. Okay. The alignment of technologies displayed under the French Royal Institute in the technology has been fixed. Enlistment incentives technology now provides the intended +5% additional cost reduction to the French influence mechanics. Gunpowder technology now applies correctly to the French galleons. The Royal Cannon now receives the intended 20% bonus damage. So, French got buffed. Okay, let me get this straight. Delhi got nerfed. French Hulk got nerfed relatively significantly, but it's still very strong. Still very, very strong. And then they got, correct me if I'm wrong, research. I mean, they got cost reduction and damage that they weren't getting before. It's not by a lot, though. This is super late game. And this is a nerf. Holy Roman Empire. Buildings constructed within the influence area of the Palace of Swabia can now also use their emergency repairs. Good. The French nerf is the auto brace. Yeah, spear damage. That's true. That's true. Especially Abbasid should be pretty legit into Royal Cavalry now. So, garrison weapons have been added to the Palace of Swabia. Oh, nice. You can put cannon emplacement on it now. The buff to spears, yeah. Elsbach Palace can now activate emergency repairs while in range of the Holy Roman Empire influence. Yeah, you couldn't before. Elsbach Palace now correctly receives a 33% damage reduction. The Prelate has been added under the Feudal Age Town Center in the Holy Roman Empire tech tree. Okay, this is all good stuff. This is all good. The ranged armor of Holy Roman Empire Keeps has been reduced to match other civs. Aww. Prevented two-handed weapons technology from giving men-at-arms units 15 health. Two-handed weapons technology will no longer give... Aww. So no more 170 health men-at-arms. Honed Blades for Delhi still takes 13 minutes with 6 scholars. Yeah, I think I've heard enough about Delhi. Like, I don't want to hear that Delhi gets diarrhea from berry bushes anymore. Like, I know it's all bad. And with Ram nerf, I think Chinese might be #1 now. I don't know if two-handed is still... I don't know if two-handed is still bugged in the sense that it overrides the heavy damage buff. We can check that out. I just want to boot up an H4 game to check the blacksmith bug that was supposedly affecting Abbasid Dynasty. Depositing more than 5 relics into the Holy Roman Empire docks will no longer increase naval attack speed past 25%. Yeah, but the question is, does it still increase the enemy ship attack speed by any percent? Because it does this. Right now it gives attack speed to everybody, not just yourself, which is of course a small downside, isn't it? I would say that's a bit of a drawback. Emplacements now have discounted gold costs. Nice. Units and technologies listed under the Palace of Swagia and the technology tree are now correctly aligned. Bonus damage provided by the heavy maces and two-handed weapons now stack correctly. Good. So we don't need to test that. We just believe them at this point. That is a good change. Look, someone said that camel bonuses could now be stacked. And if that's true, that means we can add the armor of camel units by 2. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start 1. We're gonna wait a few seconds. And then we're gonna start multiple. Okay. So we just started 1 camel barding, increased the armor of camel units by 2. And then we're gonna start multiple. Scholars are bugged and increase the research time of some techs. Which one? I did say I didn't want to hear any more about any of that, but okay. Wow. Why are we able to start this upgrade multiple times? Wait, does the speed work too? Check back in a few seconds, guys. So right now Camel Rider has 0 armor. We're gonna continue with the patch notes. Stay tuned. We'll see more soon. Mongols, superior mobility will no longer apply the 50% bonus movement speed twice. Improved wheelbarrow can now be researched in the Dark Age. The production cost of Double Trader has been corrected. Oh, how much was it? The alignment of technologies has been fixed. Okay. Yeah, check movement speed. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. We got one upgrade finished, guys. They correctly have 2 armor now, and they get a really cool looking graphical update. Their movement speed is 162. We're about to get the extra camel barding. So, here we go. It's finishing. It's almost finishing. See? Surely it wouldn't stack. Surely there would be like a hard-coded limit to it where it wouldn't stack. Hey, they keep getting stars. Did you see that? It's like 5 stars. I mean, don't forget, it is still very expensive. Movement speed is now 187, 1 upgrade finished. Camels are now the best. You could go 10 blacksmith and get like 50 armor. I mean, like 30 armor camels. Look at the movement speed. But that's what it says. Is that actually what it does, though? I don't think this is that fast. It says 3.27, but is that really true? It's fake. I don't think this is very fast. Because, like, look at the scout. Scout is 162. He should be outrunning it by double. Look, camel needs to be twice as fast for this to be true. That means that when we get to the edge of the map, the scout should be here. It says 327. Clearly, it is not true. I think this is... You pay the money for it. Now let's check the armor, okay? We need to find a wolf and get attacked. If wolf, a bitey infantry, does 2 damage. If this armor is fake, I will take 2 damage from a wolf because I'm supposed to have 2 armor. If the armor is real, I will take 1 damage. We will find a wolf and we will engage it. We can also just move into the enemy. I need to find wolves. Wolves, boars. Any wolves? I don't see any wolves or boars. Let's see if new camels also have this armor, supposedly. Oh, new camels do not. Look, new camels only have 2 armor. So I suspect it's a purely visual bug. He is fast, but that is just straight up the normal movement speed. No, it does not have 3 movement speed. Like, that's confirmed not true. I think it's a UI bug only. I still haven't found any wolves, so I guess I will just run into him. I'm having trouble determining what I'm getting hit by. It's really hard to tell actually what I got hit by. But I don't think that was 10 armor. I don't think. Because Khan should be doing 1 damage. You got ass blasted by Bombard, so. Did the AI like kill all the wolves? So I think it's a visual display bug. So all I can say is, don't accidentally upgrade the research twice. When you got attacked, the armor dropped to 2? Really? Oh, this was the 2 armor camel? Well, I got a 10 armor camel here. Well, we can try to go into him again. I tried with camel 24 armor, didn't work. Yeah, exactly. So it's fake, and new camels correctly display it to be fake. So none of the Abbasid upgrades are actually stackable. Okay. The alignment of technologies displayed under the Mongol steppe readouts in the technology tree has been fixed. Well, you don't have to. You don't. Yeah, the upgrade cost is real. You get scammed. Just don't use it. Mongol additional torches technology no longer improves navals units and emplacements. The cost to double produce a number of Mongol units has been fixed. Is that good or bad? Tithe barns technologies are now still available to research after first researching monastic shrines as the Mongols. Piety and herbal medicine are properly removed from the Mongol prayer tent UI after researching the improved versions. Relics garrisoned inside of a Mongol prayer tent now correctly generate resources with tithe barns. Kaghanate Palace no longer spawns early lancers. Springald nerf might be later, they said. Yeah, they said they're looking at it, chat. Silver Tree Trader double production cost has been updated. The cost of improved professional scouts stone has been fixed. Rus Scouts' weapons, hunting weapons now benefit from professional scouts bonus. Lodja transport ships and fishing ships conversions no longer have the H2 requirement. Horse archer icons now displays the unique indicator. The trader has been removed from under the Rus Golden Gate section of the technology tree. Incendiary arrows no longer increases attack speed of arrow ships. Night torch damage scaling has been adjusted. Professional Scouts technology now provides 200% bonus damage to Rus Scouts. Elite Men-at-Arms now have the correct attack speed. Huh? Lodja trade ships now cost an additional 100 wood. Spearmen can now activate spear wall correctly. Known issues. Here at any time. This page was last updated November 4th. I mean, I like that they linked it, but this is not updated. Oh, this is a very small list. Okay, that's the list. Keep giving me feedback on which parts of the patch working as intended or not, so that I can spread the word and know as well. There's more below? Oh, yeah. Okay. That wasn't it. Additionally, we wanted to call out a few known issues we know you've reported. Certain civilizations are able to collect infinite resources by deleting buildings. Certain buildings, when combined with an Imperial Age tech, refund too many additional resources. Good. All right, that's good. I think we can play Abbasid and Chinese. They seem to have benefited the most, and I think we can delete Delhi.